Okay, hello everyone, welcome to another Tomica slash general toy car review video. Today we're going to be taking a look exclusively at all the Nissan GT-Rs that I have. And I know that's not a GT-R, but it's a Skyline, and I thought that was funny to put in. We're not going to be focusing too hard on that. Anyway, so let's introduce what cars I have. So from the left, we have the premium Tomica Premium Skyline GT-R R32, and these two are Hot Wheels cars, which they don't say it's the R32, but obviously it's based on the R32. Next, I can only find one Skyline GT-R R33 in my collection, and it's not a Tomica. So we'll be taking a look at that just briefly because I don't have another Tomica to compare it to. And that's a Skyline, like I said, not an actual GT-R. And then the R34, which is the only R34 I have. Anyway, and then because it's the current model Skyline GT-R, not Skyline, just GT-R. Because it's the current model GT-R, and it has been for the last 10 years, literally 10 years, because they're all based on the same car, basically, it's going to be interesting to see what tiny differences they have with each other. I have many variants collected over a long time, so let's take a look at all of them. Okay, so we're going to be opening up this. Now, this is not an unboxing video, so I'm going to do it quickly. Well, it's quite easy to see why this is the premium line. It looks more detailed than the normal Tomica models. Just a quick comparison with a regular Tomica model. Let's take a look at the bottom. 162 model, Nissan GT-R BNR 32. The interior looks a little bit more detailed, but you know, it's a 164 model. They can only get so detailed with the interior, working suspension, sort of. Alright, let's take a look at the Skyline ones from Hot Wheels. Now, these are definitely very used. It's apparently from 2006. Wow, 17 years now. The headlights, that's more visible on this other one here. It's very accurate for what they did with tuned versions when they want to get more airflow into the engine or something like that. I don't know how tuned cars work. Back to the Tomica. So the size is about the same. I mean, obviously, because they're meant to be the same scale, I think. Side profile looks similar. I mean, because it's the same car. The rear wing is not ridiculous because this is the stock model. Printing quality for the Hot Wheels is a little bit of a mess, but anyway, for a Hot Wheel, I mean, it was what it was, pretty cheap, you know, for a toy. Kids don't really care about that kind of stuff, so this is more of an adult's toy, and this is more of a kid's toy. Okay, next we're gonna look at just this Skyline very quickly. It's the 250 GT. As you can see from the back, the doors open. That's a nice touch. Right hand drive. For just a toy car, see, I always like Tomicas more because even though they are meant to be mere toy cars for kids, they are always very high quality. I really like the suspension. You know, it's very fun to play with as a kid. Okay, now next on the block is the Targa Taccar R33, Nissan Skyline GT-R R33, and there's the logo, Targa Taccar, and from what I've looked up on the web, this appears to be from 2010. I'm not sure when I got this. It's from back when I was a kid, so I don't have that many details about it. The hood opens up, quite detailed engine, I guess. Doors don't open. But yeah, pretty nice model. I think the GT-R print is a little big, but see, that's the thing with scale models to this size. If it was actually the real size, it would be pretty much unreadable. For example, like this one. So this is the only R33 I have. I don't have any Tomica R33s, but if I do, I'll be sure to take a look at one later. So up next, we're gonna be taking a look at the Nissan Skyline GT-R V-spec tuner. This is the Millennium Jade version. There's other colors like Wangan Blue and stuff, but Millennium Jade is a great color for me personally. So, I've already seen like pictures of this, you know, people unboxing it, so not a surprise on how it looks. Although, is this green? That's interesting. Not sure if that's accurate to real life. Anyway, so let's get a closer look at this model. The hood does not open. Fine. Suspension like most normal Tomicas. The front looks okay. Personally, I think the headlights are a little bit too high. Like it should be a little more trimmed, you know. Yeah. So, but it's a scale model. Maybe pretty hard to do. GT-R logo. Doors open. So this actually looks a little more detailed, I think. Maybe. Just a little. Now going back to the R32, it definitely does have that metallic shine to it as well, but yeah, it definitely does not look as good as it does on the Millennium Jade. So that's why I did buy that, because oh man, look at that, look at that shine. Yeah, it's great. And the bottom, this says 2014, although I think this is from 2019 when I bought it anyway. The rear logo, see, this is what I'm talking about with the rear logos. So on this Targa Taccar is like comically huge if you actually scale it up. But yeah, the Tomica is more realistic in that it has a real scaled version of that logo. This would just look funny if it was actually on a real car. Alright, up next we're gonna be taking a look at the R35 models over here. There's a whole bunch of them, and let's open up one of these. So these came in a set. It's a bargain, 2 colors, but I'm just going to be taking a look at the first one. This appears to be a first edition, something like that. That's what I'm thinking that says. So let's have a look. Oop. Come on out. There we are. So now I did pick the silver one to look at as well, because a lot of the other ones I have are silver, and it'll make for a better comparison, I think. So right off the bat, let's see. Good front details. Doors open. I do like the black rims. They're a little simple under reflection, but you know, from this view, it's like, wow, you know, white and black goes together well, I think. And this is silver, I know. Pretty typical back. This is meant to be a mass production model. It's the regular line, so nothing premium or anything like that, but still, there's the usual Tomica quality. I'm a big Tomica simp, as you can tell. Hood doesn't open, that's fine. So, Tommy 2016, Nissan GT-R, line 23, typical stuff. There you go. It's very easy to compare this to the Hot Wheels 2009 GT-R, which did come out in 2009, I think. And this is from 2016, so just for reference. But yeah, I think the Western interpretation of the GT-R is definitely the Western view of the GT-R is definitely more different than, you know, the Japanese view of their own product. Yeah, not really related to these cars, just a personal opinion. yeah, it's not really to proportion, the Hot Wheels. It's a little wider, but that's fine. So Nissan GT-R in the back there. Paint quality is okay. This is fine for a Hot Wheels. Profile is a little slimmer for the Hot Wheels. This actually seems a bit more like this Italdesign GT-R 50, which I'll review later. Up next is the Tomica Nissan GT-R 50th anniversary version. Now I had a look, and this particular variant is from, apparently it's a Tokyo Motor Show edition. It's not too rare. I found a bunch on the Japanese used website, you know, the like eBay kind of, but not eBay. Anyway, so yeah, I don't feel bad about like opening this because it's not that rare. Now there are a couple of variants on this apart from this version. There's also I think like a red stripe version and a blue and white stripe version, and this is the kind of the least rare of all of them, but still, you know, they basically just use the same mold and they just put different paint on it. So yeah, let's see how this compares to the regular line. Okay, we'll look at a bit of paint on the exhausts. Nice touch. Let's see, yeah, racing stripes adds 10 more horsepower. I suppose with a 10-year-old platform, they need all the horsepower they can get. Maybe the plastic they use is slightly different. This one's a little more like gray compared to this, which is a bit more black, but the intake vent is painted on this one. Wow, big change. The wheels are, I think they're the same. Okay, well that's about what I expected, since I did some research, and yeah, they are from the same mold. Okay, up next we have the Tomica number 78 Nissan GT-R Nismo 2020 model, and this is from actually 2019, I think, like as in it's made in 2019. You can tell because it says 2019 on it, and also that's what the website says, the wiki. Now a bit of backstory for this model. I actually bought this from the Nissan Engine Museum when I visited that museum in Yokohama in 2020. So this has a little bit of sentimental value to me. There we are. Alright, Nismo, hell yeah. And right off the bat we can tell that this used a different mold, although just slightly. The intakes are different. Let's look at the back. So yeah, different bumpers, very nice. And you can see a tiny little Nismo logo there. It's very hard to tell in the white paint, but yeah, definitely does say that. There we go. Good use of that 3x zoom camera on my phone. Should have done that earlier. Anyway, nice wheel vents. I don't know what you call them. Slightly a different mold, and the doors cannot be opened, unfortunately. I do like this one better, I think. The lights look about the same. Maybe they use the same parts. It has a plastic spoiler. The wheels are actually the same, I think. Pretty much the same. Now, I guess it is actually about the same. But yeah, Nismo, dude. So yeah, brought that all the way back with me from Yokohama. Nissan Engine Museum. On the topic of Nismos, I also have this one. This is the Tomica Limited Vintage Neo. LVN217A, A meaning it's the white one. The D version is black, I think, etc. But I like white better, so there you go. And this is basically the same car as the other one, Nissan GT-R Nismo 2020 model. So I'm really curious to see how this differs from the normal line. Now the box opens like this, very interesting. So it's a top-down box, and inside the top cover is a little pamphlet. Talks a little bit about the engine specs of the model, that blue titanium exhaust. So yeah, this just comes out, it's not really stuck in there, and this is what the package looks like. So this was actually the first time I've opened any of the Vintage Neo boxes, and that was a pretty fun experience. Anyway, okay, so let's see, essentially the same car, so how is it different? Alright, so right away we can see that the headlights are definitely more detailed. That is no joke. Let me do a little zoom. Yeah. Wow, look at that, right? Compared to the regular old model. There's a carbon roof, which is, I'm gonna guess is not actually carbon, but it is very detailed. And the interior looks a tad more detailed as well. You can tell that there's some more extra lines and stuff. The wheels are, oh man, the wheels are, yeah, definitely more detailed. These just use the same wheels that they had since, I don't know, 2000 and, what was it, 2016? Just the same old boring back wheels. These are actually all custom, it seems. Yeah, so that's why it's worth a bunch more. And there's wing mirrors, so you can tell that this is definitely not meant to be a kid's toy. Alright, let's take a look at the back. Oh wow. Alright, so there's definitely a lot more of a 3D feel for the lights. I think they're actually plastic. I really can't tell. Okay, this is going to require very steady hands. Alright. I'm not sure whether this actually has just paint or whether there's actually plastic in it, but the fact that I can't really tell is a good sign that it's very detailed. And the exhaust there, this exhaust isn't painted, but this one is. This is the Tokyo Motor Show version. Yeah, this one is painted for some reason, but not the 78 model. Interesting. The wing, as you can see here, is much more detailed. Like it's much slimmer and probably more fragile than this one. Little brake light there, reflector, not sure what it is. I think that's all I can say about that. The interior, let's have a look. So the doors don't open, but there is color in there. So either they painted it or there's some plastic mold, like colored plastic in there. Either way, it's very impressive. Now, yeah, this is definitely a different cast. The tires even have tread on them. And this Limited Vintage Neo version is made in China. You wouldn't say this like 10 years ago, but nowadays, if it's made in China, it's actually a very good product. Oh, and one more detail. Wow, you can see the brake calipers in there. Did not even notice that. So this is definitely worth the price, whatever price you get it for. The Limited Vintage Neo is definitely a collector's favorite, I think. Even just within their own Tomica lineup, you can tell there's so much more quality and detail was put into it. And lastly, we have the Tomica Premium Nissan GT-R 50 by Italdesign. Well, would you look at that? Alright. It comes with a part that you have to assemble. That is a first that I've seen in Tomicas. That is interesting. The back, you have to manually add that spoiler that exists in this other bag here. Wow, it is definitely very unique. I wouldn't be so bold as to say that this is the first car that has done this in the Tomica lineup, because I don't know much about Tomicas, but definitely must be pretty rare. Alright, let's put it on. Okay, yeah, it just kind of goes on, no snapping. Yeah, I wonder why they did that. I mean, the whole thing should fit in there, right? So why would they put another part in a box for you to assemble? That is interesting. Anyway, it does go together very well. Maybe because they can't secure it. Like, if they put it on, there's no bolt or anything to secure it. So, yeah, I have seen this in real life when I went to Tokyo. It was at the Nissan showroom in like downtown, and they had this on display. I think I took a picture of it at this angle, so I'll show it on screen now. Yeah, nothing on the bottom. Just a cool concept car. Alright, so that was all of what I wanted to review. Now the actual recording time it took was 50 minutes, 50. So I really wonder how much of that is going to make into the final cut. But anyway, I'm going to add chapter markers and all that so it's easier to navigate. And yeah, that has been very enjoyable for me because I get to talk about my collection a lot. And a lot of these cars, like these Hot Wheels and stuff, are, like I said, from my childhood. So it was a fun experience to dig them out from, you know, the archives and have a look at them again. So the R32, the 23 series, and the Italdesign were new additions to my collection. I got them in Hong Kong from my recent trip. Hong Kong is a great place for a lot of these models. So that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate fellow enthusiasts leaving their feedback on how much they like Tomicas, because hey, I like Tomicas too, so we both like Tomicas. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.